students, how are you? I hope all of you are fit and fine. Today we are starting a new poem, A Legend of the Northland of Our Beehive. This poem is written by Fob Cary. This poem is a ballad. A ballad is a song narrating a story in short stanzas. Means ballad is a form in which poet describe a story in the stanzas, you can say in the form of poem. Ballads are a part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on orally from one generation to the next. Before starting the poem, I am giving you short descriptions about poet. Fob Cary, born on 4th September 1824 and died on 31st July 1871, was an American poet and the younger sister of poet Alice Cary. The sisters co-published poems in 1849 and then each went on to publish volumes of her own. After their deaths in 1871, joint anthologies of the sisters' unpublished poems were also compiled. Before starting the poem, I am giving you short description of this poem so that you can understand the poem easily. The story is set in the Northland, which is a polar region. The story on which this poem means this ballad is based. Hence, it is very cold there as it remains covered with snow. The backdrop of the poem is Scotland, which is near the northern tip of the United Kingdom. The North Snow Pole faces very few hours of sunlight, and hence the poet mentions that here the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in the winter that people are unable to spend the whole night sleeping. During the snowy periods, people move on sledges, which are harnessed by reindeer. The children are covered in furry woolen clothes which makes them look like bear cubs. It is here that a story went round and has been passed on from one generation to another and has become famous. Since this is a legend, it cannot be taken as a true story. Yet the poet tries to tell it like a real story. Such stories carry a message for all of us. It is believed that once Saint Peter was traveling and was preaching people when he felt hungry, preaching pravachan dena. He happened to reach an old cottage where a little woman was making cakes. Saint Peter went to the woman and asked for some cakes to eat. The little woman thought she would make a small cake for him. When the cake was baked, some cakes, she felt it was too big to be given in charity, and so she decided to bake a smaller one. This process went on for some time till she made a paper thin wafer like cake for him. In fact, she was such a miser that she even kept that wafer instead of giving it to Saint Peter. She could not part with a single morsel of food. When Saint Peter saw her greed, he became very angry at her. He told her that she was too selfish to dwell in human form and cursed her to become a bird and live by searching for scant food in the jungle, and that too by boring all day in the dry and hard wood. After St. Peter's curse, the little woman went up through the chimney and was transformed into a woodpecker. Because she went up the chimney, her body became black and her red cap turned to a red plumage of the woodpecker. Ever since, People have been seeing her in the woods where she lives by boring the dry wood in search of food. Let us start the poem, A Legend of the Northland. This poem narrates the legend of an old lady who angered Saint Peter because of her greed. This poem is folklore. It highlights the legends and famous people of the Northland. The theme of the story puts forth that we should not be selfish and should always help the needy and the hungry. The legend of the Northland is to instill in the minds of the children the value of kindness, generosity, and charity, irrespective of who the person is. Otherwise, one would have to face the consequences. Students, as I recite poem, I will keep explaining along with it. All right? Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter and they cannot sleep them through. Away, away, very far away. Northland, a place located in the far north of Europe. In this stanza, the poet tells us about the setting of the land from where the story comes. She tells us that it is from the Northland where the days are short and the nights long. It is so cold that people cannot sleep comfortably the whole night and often wake up unable to bear the low temperatures. This is probably because the poles experience 6 months of winter, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears' cubs in their funny furry clothes. Harness, tie, reindeer, animal living in the north. Sledges, carriages drawn by animals used for transportation over snow. Furry, made of fur. Continuing with the background description of the people and setting, the poet tells us that in this place the people harness the swift reindeer to the sledges. Swift, तेज दौड़ने वाला. When it snows, because of the extreme cold, children are made to wear heavy furry woolen clothes that cover them up fully and make them look like little bear cub. Bear cubs means bear ka bachcha. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe this true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. This short form of it is tale story. In this type of a climate, parents often tell their children a story. The poet does not think the story is true, but she still wants to share it with the readers so that they can take a message from it. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching just as he did, you know. Listen. Preaching, pravachan, giving sermons, lived in the world below, was alive. The poet starts by saying that this story dates back to the time when Saint Peter lived on earth and walked around preaching good things to the people just as he is doing now, probably from heaven or through the holy books. He came to the door of a cottage in traveling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. Hearth bhatti. Cottage, small house. You can say hearth. Fireplace also. In Hindi, bhatti जहाँ आग जलती है. Continuing with her story, the poet tells us that one day while roaming घूमना, around St. Peter came upon a cottage where a little woman was baking cakes in an oven hearth for herself. And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. Saint Peter was almost fainting, बेहोश हो रहे थे, with exhaustion due to roaming and fasting. उन्होंने कुछ खाया नहीं था. He asked the woman to give him one cake from her stock. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. The woman made a small cake to give him, but before she could give it, she looked at it and thought it was too big to give away for free. You can understand that the woman was very greedy and she did not want to give a cake to Saint Peter. So she decided to make a very small cake. She had already made a very small cake, but when she looked at that piece, it seemed too big to her. Therefore she needed another and still a smaller one, but it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. Needed means molded the dough of. डफ जो आटा गूंथते हैं ना हम, उसको बोलते हैं. टर्न इट ओवर, reversed while baking. So she needed another one which was smaller, and then another one smaller still. But when she turned it over, it appeared to be as big as the first one. This piece, which was already smaller than first one, it would be seemed very big to her. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as wafer, but she could not part with that. Tiny scrap, very small piece. Dough cake mixture, wafer thin slice. Wafer thin slice. Part with giveaway. The woman kept reducing the size a third time to make a cake so small that she would not mind giving it away. This time she took an extremely small lump of dough. बहुत छोटा सा वो जिससे केक बनता है वो वाला डफ, वो गूथा हुआ आटा, and rolled it out to look big. But when she rolled the dough, her cake was as flat and thin as a wafer. Now she did not have the heart to give even that away. उसका इतना भी दिल नहीं था कि वो छोटा पतला सा वेफर वाला केक भी उसको दे फ्री में. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away, so she put them on the shelf. Eat of them, eat them, and shelf, place of storage. The poet describes the woman's miserly character by saying that she felt that the cakes that seemed small were still big when she ate them, and therefore they were not fit to be given away. She then kept them on the shelf and did not give any to Saint Peter. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. For because provoke, irritate, or anger, surely, definitely. Seeing this, Saint Peter became very angry with the woman's behavior, and since he was starving and feeling very weak, his anger was justified. Such a selfish woman deserved his wrath. And he said, "You are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter, and fire to keep you warm. Selfish, greedy, dwell, live." The poet then describes how Saint Peter cursed the woman and told her that she did not deserve to be a human being and have the luxury of comfortable house, good food to eat, and a fire to keep her warm. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard dry wood. Build, make your nest. As the birds, just like the birds. Scanty, small in quantity. Boring, making holes. Scanty also means insufficient. Saint Peter told the woman that henceforth she will have to build her own nest like other birds, and that she will have to work hard at boring the hard wood the whole day to find food. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. And so saying, the curse of Saint Peter started to work. The woman did not say a word and went through the chimney to go out. She had been turned into a woodpecker. This woodpecker could be seen flying out of the top of the chimney. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burnt black as a coal in the flame. Scarlet, bright red. Black as coal, jet black. Flame, fire in the hearth. The woman was wearing a red cap, so the woodpecker developed a red plume on the head, and since all her clothes became black and burnt while going up the chimney, the woodpecker's body from then on became black. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. Wood, forest, this very day, today. Boring for food, making holes in the trees' trunks with her beak for finding food. Since then, everyone, including school children, have seen a woodpecker digging into the bark of the trees in the forests for food worms to feed on. Students, let us discuss the poetic devices. Assonance, repetition of vowel sounds. Away, away. Consonance, repetition of consonant sounds. Swift/snow. Allusion, reference to a historical or literary person or event. Saint Peter. Simile, a comparison using like or as. The children look like bear's cubs, black as coal. Both are examples of simile. Repetition, boring and boring and boring. Personification, giving human characteristics to inanimated things. Listen to pity's call. Students, I hope you have understood the poem very well and enjoyed also. Thanks.